Hey guys, this is Toth from the Batsquatch podcast. I was just letting you know that if you're down on your luck, you ain't got any money, and you're sick of begging your parents for money to buy a beer or anything at all, download the Anchor app. The Anchor app is the easiest way to make a podcast. I mean, it's almost as easy as breathing. They distribute it for you. They teach you how to do basically everything. It's kind of like guided meditation for the podcast enthusiast. I mean, this is the easiest thing I've ever done in my life. I mean, I can't think of anything that's easier or more fun than getting on the Anchor app and making a podcast. So get on board and try it out. It's amazing. Thanks.
This is Anubis of the Illuminati. Listen here, you son of a bitch. We warned you. Stop the podcast, or else.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Batsquatch podcast. It's always good to hear from Anubis and the Illuminati. It's good to hear from the Illuminati. It's always interesting to hear what they got going down and what type of activities they're up to. I wanted to get on here and talk to you guys right now because I'm experiencing the out of time merging of timelines. Like right now, my own personal reality, what I'm physically seeing right now is the actual physical world, the air, the elements, the ground, the sky is literally like moving, and like it's breaking apart, it's shaking, it's vibrating and pulling itself apart. And what I physically see is two different timelines, two separate realities, and I'm moving in between each one, like not the collapsing of timelines, but the merging of two separate realities, shaking themselves next to each other. I'm feeling a lot of angelic presence, the divine, the love of the divine mother, of Mother Earth, the divine mother that Paramahansa Yogananda would talk about. I have a very strong connection to the times of Krishna, when Lord Krishna was here. I have a very strong timeline connection to him, and a past life connection to that time. I wanted to tell you guys that the whole concept of love and light that you hear all the time, love and light, all this bullshit is a total scam. It's bullshit. If someone is talking to you, or in their philosophy is talking about love and light, then don't listen to any word they have to say. Just don't go to another room, go to another area, because they're full of shit, and it's a psyop. It's a another fake system that's been put into place to keep you away from the real truth of reality, the spiritual truth of reality. If I was listening to a song by the band Ministry that was called The Golden Dawn, referencing the ceremonial group. But what was interesting was that the background noise or sound was Crowley reciting the Enochian calls. And that reminded me of a time when I had a positive experience with the Enochian angels, who are the Elohim. All of Enochian magic, all that you are doing is communicating with the Elohim. And they were the first group to come to this planet billions of years ago. They are not male nor female, but they were the first to incarnate into physical bodies. But there are positive and negative Elohim. When you do the Enochian calls, that's who you're talking to, and that's who's responding to you. That's who Dr. John Deef was talking with, was the Elohim. And that's who it is, and that's the truth of it. And I don't care what kind of philosophies that people spin. That's my personal experience. I did the Enochian calls, and I asked the Elohim for healing, to heal my neck, and they did. I was able to communicate with the positive Elohim through the Enochian calls, and they literally, physically healed my neck. That's so out of the ordinary, but it was just such a cool experience, an awesome experience to hear those Enochian calls, because once you hear the word Crowley, everyone goes insane, and they automatically assume evil, and but you have to understand that there's also positivity and a positive side to almost everything, especially when it comes to Enochian magic. Now, I'm not an Enochian magician. I don't do any of that stuff. I don't practice John Dee's system. I just feel a divine bond when I hear those Enochian calls. I don't do John Dee's system. I don't do ceremonial magic, any of that stuff. But those calls, I feel a connection, and that's why I have always felt a connection to the positive Elohim. And they literally healed my neck. I am sick and tired of hearing about angels and your fucking new age bullshit philosophies about angels, about love and light. It's all a crock of shit. And I'm just telling you guys, don't listen to any of this. Anyone who tells that you need to have more love and light in your life. You need to, if they mention that phrase, love and light, just walk away, go somewhere else, because they're fucking under this fucking bullshit, new age bullshit that came out of Stanford labs, Stanford research from the 60s. It's a scam. It's not real. It's all a distraction to keep you out of spirituality, real spirituality, where you're able to literally lift the veil, lift the curtain, and see the spirit world, and see the real world, see the real thing. How many of these fucking new age idiots who talk about angels have actually seen an angel? How many? None of them. Ask them, have you talked to an angel face to face? Have you seen an angel face to face? And I guarantee you they will say zero. But I'm into love and light. Then walk away. It's because it's bullshit. If these new age people start talking about Metatron or Enoch, the prophet Enoch, or Metatron, walk away. Don't listen to their lecture. Don't listen to their whatever they're saying, because that is false. That is false light. That's lower light. It's not real. It's all a distraction, and it's all meant. It's literally evil, in the worst sense of the word that you can imagine. Metatron is evil. Metatron is not an angel. It's a projection. It's part of Project Bluebeam. It's all bullshit. They're projecting images to you to keep you away from the real truth of reality, that is the real spirituality. And that's the whole game of the whole distractions of society, is to keep the end game, the main goal is to keep you out of true spirituality. That's what religions are for. That's what all these new age philosophies are for. That's what the secret space program is for. It's all bullshit. It's all image to mind technologies. Some of it's AI, some of it's Project Bluebeam. But you can bet, I can tell you that 100% of it is fucking bullshit. Now, next time you see someone talking about love and light, or somebody's trying to tell you that your angels, blah, 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 the angels knew blah, fuck off. Ask them, when have you talked to an angel face to face? And they'll say, well, I never have. Then walk away. I have talked to an angel face to face. I have had that experience. The whole fucking room lights up with bright, pure white light. And the angel is not standing on the fucking ground. They're right in front of you. They're levitating right in front of you. And you will feel their divine love. And when I say divine love, I'm not talking about fucking religion. Religion is bullshit. I'm talking about truth, true spirituality, your connection to the source of everything, to the Great Spirit, and to that angel has that aspect. And most likely that angel is you, is a aspect of you. You're literally talking to yourself, but not every time, because you got to remember that your soul is split, is fractaled into different pieces, and you're living out multiple lives simultaneously throughout the multiverse. And you have your higher self is where is the source of that, and that is the real you. But not every time you see an angel, it's not always you, an aspect of you in a higher plane. It could be literally another person, another angel. And I had the whole room lit up. The angel was levitating there in the room. There's nothing but light, all pure light, pure white light. And you're not going to communicate with your mouth. You communicate telepathically. But these type of things don't last very long. They last for 30 seconds, a minute or two, and you can ask questions. Just like when you see one of the divine masters appears to you, one of the spiritual masters will appear to you. I've had Krishna appear to me face to face. I've had these type of experiences, and none of them came from religion, because religion is a system set up to keep you out of spirituality, to keep you out of spiritual experiences. The second you stop participating in religion, that is when you will actually start to have real spiritual experiences, because these are control systems set up to keep you locked down out of spirituality, out of the true reality in the spiritual world. If it doesn't matter if you're a fucking vegan, it doesn't matter if you are a carnivore diet, your fucking diet doesn't matter when it comes to spiritual progress. What you eat is irrelevant. Most of the time, when you progress up spiritually, you will prefer to sometimes to go without food. There's a reason why the Buddha was so skinny. It's because when you fast, it's easier. Your soul, your spirit inside your body takes over. When there's no food, the spirit inside of you takes over the body, and it makes it easier to communicate with your higher self, with the spiritual world, with the ascended masters. It makes it easier. That's one of the reasons why the Buddha starved himself so much. He ate. He started to practice the middle way and started to eat food, but he would go without food for extended periods because it makes spiritual progress easier. Now, it doesn't matter today what type of fucking diet you're on, what type of shit you're eating. It's better to eat healthy, but you have to realize that spiritual progress is going to happen. And it doesn't fucking matter what type of fucking diet you're on or what bullshit type of fucking dietary strategy you're using. It's going to happen. And all these concepts of diet wars and spiritual diet philosophies and all this shit is it's irrelevant. You don't need to follow any fucking diet or follow any type of weird ass new age bullshit strategy for your nutrition to raise your consciousness. You need to do the spiritual work. You need to meditate. You need to start practicing different spiritual disciplines. You need to do spiritual shit to raise up in consciousness and spirituality. Doesn't matter if you eat fucking pizza, meat lovers pizza, or if you're drinking a fucking green smoothie. doing the spiritual work is what gets you into higher consciousness. It's not what you fucking eat or what you don't eat. That's all more of the New Age control system. The New Age is a cage, and it's going to keep you down. It's going to fucking block you, just like a religion will block you from the real spirituality, from the truth of reality and existence. You don't need these type of things. They are roadblocks. Religion is a roadblock. The New Age philosophies is a roadblock. The secret space program is a roadblock. The disclosure movement is a roadblock. It's all bullshit set up to keep you in a certain philosophy and to lock you down and to stop your spiritual progress. That's just one aspect that these things exist for. These different New Age systems, and religion also is a fucking locked door, a spiritual locked door. And they are all designed to keep your mind occupied and to stop you from doing real progress. The Buddha didn't need anyone's help. He didn't need any love and light. He didn't need any fucking secret space bullshit. Didn't need any New Age bullshit to reach enlightenment. Enlightenment is the purpose of existence, and you don't need any exterior worship or any other fucking New Age bullshit to reach enlightenment. You simply need to do the spiritual work and sit down and meditate and do different spiritual disciplines to raise your consciousness up so that you can start to see the truth about reality and what's really going on spiritually. There's all these other control systems are a crock of shit, and don't buy into any of them because they're all a big psyop scam. Just like QAnon, trust the scam. It's a scam. The whole Trump worship, I worship Trump, that's all a scam. All of these things, the New Age, secret space program, all of this, the disclosure movement. I don't need the fucking government to tell me that the dog in my yard is a fucking dog. I don't need the fucking government to tell me that the UFO I see in the sky is an actual UFO. I don't need their fucking validation. I don't need their help to tell me anything. They're the ones using the disclosure movement to block your communication with your star family, or to keep you out of the spiritual world, or to keep you away from reaching enlightenment. I don't give a fuck what any of these groups have to say about anything. They're all full of shit, and they're all a psyop. You don't need any of them to reach enlightenment. You don't need any of them to progress spiritually. And I'm tired of hearing about them, and they're all bullshit, and they're all just a distraction to keep you away from enlightenment and true spiritual progress, to see the real world, the spiritual world. All you need to do is to meditate, to do the inner work, to work on yourself morally, spiritually, and to listen to your soul, to pay attention to what your soul tells you, to what your higher self tells you, to what the universe and the source of all the Great Spirit, what those messages are, and they'll be around you, and you need to pay attention. Be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of synchronicities or communications through numbers, through different objects, through different animals, through nature, and just what you see around you. They're always trying to get messages and to communicate with you. Okay? Simply just be aware. Awareness is the key to receiving messages from the spiritual world. Just try to be aware of these things. But I'm tired of all this bullshit from the New Age, UFO. It's almost like a cult. They're like a fucking wannabe Illuminati idiots. You know what I mean? The Illuminati has their shit together. The secret space program, the fucking UFO disclosure movement, the New Age idiots, they don't have their shit together. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Why? Because they're under MK Ultra mind control, and they have no fucking clue they are. It's all a scam. The Illuminati, they know what the fuck they're doing. You go up to any of these fucking people at the UFO conferences, ask them why they're here. Well, they say, oh, well, I'm trying to... No, fuck off. I didn't ask you why you're at the convention. I asked you why you're here. Why do you exist? They have no fucking clue because they're under MK Ultra, and they have no fucking idea what the hell's going on in the spiritual reality of the spiritual world. They have no fucking idea. All they want to tell you, love and light, love and light. That's all bullshit. They have no idea what the fuck they're doing. The Illuminati, they know what the fuck they're doing, and they're good at what they do. These idiots you see at the disclosure UFO conference, the secret space bullshit conference, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They have no idea why they exist. They don't even know if they're fucking alive. They don't even know if they're fucking real. They're under fucking MK Ultra, and they have no fucking idea they even are. It's all a big distraction to keep you locked down and out of enlightenment and spiritual reality. So, I wanted to talk about some stuff on this, some pretty crazy stuff on this podcast. I wanted to get into like some of these obscure, some of these obscure, mundane type of things that you don't hear about anymore. Things that are just so out there, people have kind of forgotten about. There is a place in Vermont that is kind of like the Skinwalker Ranch in Utah. There are a lot of places like this that are similar to the Skinwalker Ranch, and some of them are just straight up fucking paranormal as fuck. You know what I mean? One thing that we do know about Skinwalker Ranch is that it is an Anunnaki portal. And the Anunnaki are a human alien group that came here 400,000 years ago and trying to mine gold and do all sorts of crazy shit. And they're still here, and they're working with the Israeli government on a lot of different stuff. They're helping them out. Although you could look at Israel and say, well, you have human alien help. Why the fuck can't you create a bigger country or do something where you're not always getting fucked with? They're always fucking bombing. They're always at war. But the Anunnaki are helping Israel. They're not helping so much as they're just working together. But Skinwalker Ranch is a kind of a testing ground for some of these more kind of malevolent Anunnaki who can shapeshift, and they just want to, like trickster type of activities that you've always heard about, spiritual trickster type shit. But it's the Anunnaki. That's who's doing it, and that's who's fucking shapeshifting and into these gigantic creatures. And the skinwalkers, where they're smoking cigarettes and drinking beer and shit with, that's those are actual human aliens. They're just fucking with the people that live there. With Bob Bigelow and his space program. Oh, I guess not. It's a space program, but it's not secret. Bigelow Aerospace. Bigelow Aerospace is the only aerospace or space, I guess, or company who's allowed to take weapons into space. No one else is allowed to do that. Elon Musk can't take weapons into space, but Bob Bigelow Aerospace, they can. They're allowed to take weapons into space, and it's because of that Anunnaki connection that they have there on Skinwalker Ranch. There's a place in southern Vermont. It's very similar to Skinwalker Ranch. It's called Glastonbury Mountain, and it has all sorts of crazy shit going on there. They've had, tons of people just straight up fucking disappear. Never fucking found. People disappear on that mountain. So I want to tell you guys, if you go to that mountain, don't go. Don't go to Glastonbury Mountain. It's a fucking insane. It's a negative paranormal place for the most part. They've had all sorts of things from UFO sightings to actual like wild humans running around with. They they have actual, like not Bigfoot, but just actual hairy type creatures running after people. You know what I mean? But the thing I thought was the most interesting was they have these human eating rocks, like these big giant rocks that if you stand on one or if you are leaning against one, it'll literally fucking eat you. It will open its mouth and eat you alive. I'm not kidding. This goes back to the fucking 1800s. It goes back before that to the Native American tribes, American Indian tribes, warning settlers and pioneers and trappers, all these people, not to go up there, and specifically not to touch the large rocks or even get near the very large rocks. These rocks are at the top of the Glastonbury Mountain. They're at the top, but just like with any other paranormal place, they're probably everywhere. So there's Native American accounts of people being eaten alive by a fucking rock. Okay? They're not lying. They're not trying to fuck with people. These are old accounts, hundreds of years old, from the American Indian tribes of these rocks eating people, where either a mouth will open or the person will just get dissolved, or they'll just fall into the rock and disappear. Now, so they have both cases where a mouth literally will open up and eat the person, and the person will like fall into the mouth if they're standing on top of the rock. Or if the person's leaning against the rock, they'll fall into the rock and disappear. And they're fucking gone. Completely gone. So many people have disappeared up there. But one thing I was thinking about was that if you're standing on top of one of those rocks, those human-eating rocks, and you start to see its mouth open, the mouth starts to open, the best thing that you can do is to pull out a lighter, get a lighter out of your pocket. As that mouth starts to open, start to put that lighter down by your ass and light a blue dart. And fart into that lighter and light a blue dart and send that fucking blue dart to that rock. And I guarantee you that mouth will close on that rock. Because no fucking rock, no type of life form wants to smell a blue dart or experience a blue dart or even have anything to do with a blue dart at all. Blue darts are a great deterrent to everything. If you've ever been to a college party, a frat party, or even just a house party, you've seen a blue dart in action, and it clears the room. It clears the room. Nobody wants to stay in there. Nobody wants to smell that fucking odor. Nobody wants to even get near it. And I guarantee you that a human eating rock does not want to get near that stench, nor does it want to get burned by that blue flame that's coming out of your ass. Okay? Nothing wants to experience that. No type of life form wants to go through that. And I guarantee if you do that, the mouth on that human-eating rock will close. I promise you that. Nothing wants that. Nobody wants a blue dart. It sucks. Especially, the worst thing about a blue dart is that if it gets into your mouth, you have that taste in your mouth for at least a week. And that's a human-eating rock who's got its mouth open. It's ready, right? And it doesn't want that blue dart in its mouth because that's all it's got is its fucking human-eating mouth. And it doesn't want to have a blue dart smell in its mouth for a fucking week. So I guarantee if you do that, you'll survive the human-eating rock. But the best way to go is simply stay away from Glastonbury Mountain in Vermont. Okay? It's crazy shit. There's a lot of like similar stuff, similar type of like anomalies, paranormal type things. I mean, in these different type of areas, these paranormal areas. For example, like there's, like in Nicaragua, they have these vampire kind of like plants that they will literally like wrap these vines around a person, and it's not like a regular vines. They're actually have like these kind of type of like these miniature, like almost like a octopus type thing, like a suction cup on them, on the vines. And these suction cups, they will literally pull blood out of your body. And this plant will absorb your blood. I mean, it's freaky shit. I mean, they call it it's like a vampire plant. And they have these rope-like vines on them. They had a lot of reports in the 1890s, I think it was, of people getting attacked in Nicaragua by these vampire type of plants that had these rope-like vines on them, these little suction cups. But I mean, if you're going to be in the jungle area, take a machete. You always got to have a machete. Machete will save your life in the jungle. You know, you got to have something to defend yourself with, especially against a vampire plant. You know, they sound pretty vicious, and they're literally sucking your blood out of you. There's a place in Massachusetts. I think it's in the southeastern area. Bridgewater, Massachusetts. That place has a lot of like swamps, and there have been reports of people seeing pterodactyls flying around in these fucking swamps. Not only pterodactyls, but like these like gigantic birds, you know. And I'm not talking about like thunderbirds, like, you know, like, you know, the old thunderbirds that you used to hear about. These birds in this swamp, they have like a 20 to 25 foot wingspan, and they're just massive, and they're not brown. They have like this black, like this dark black color. People have seen them flying around in the swamp, and they also seen literally people have reported pterodactyls. You know what I mean? And to me, psychically, when I heard about these reports, the first thing that kind of message or image I got was inner earth, that these creatures are coming from the inner earth inner earth cities, and they go back and forth through some kind of portal inside this swamp. I gotta tell you guys, swamps are very paranormal, and you're gonna see shit. So if you don't want to see crazy shit, stay out of swamps, okay? Because there's a lot of shit that's happening in swamps. And if you can see psychically, or if you can see, if you've had your third eye activated, you'll see a lot of these type of paranormal creatures and different things like that in swamps. But I wouldn't go into any swamps, because I mean, swamps are hard to get out of if you get in trouble, and there's a lot of shit there and that can kill you. You know what I mean? There's a place also, a paranormal place in South Carolina that's had a lot of paranormal reports recently. And what they've been reporting is the legend of the Gray Man. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Gray Man, but he was a guy, I guess, who died in some long time. I don't know, maybe back in like the Pilgrims, time of the Pilgrims. And what happened was he died on his horse in actual real quicksand, where him and his horse literally sank in fast quicksand and went into the fucking earth, into the ground, and died. You know what I mean? This guy's riding his horse and hits quicksand, and it just fucking absorbs both him and his horse in like a matter of seconds. And it happened in South Carolina. And since the 1800s, people have reported seeing this guy, and he's on a horse. And what's weird is that he will appear over and over again before there's like a hurricane, or there's going to be some kind of like massive destructive storm, or some kind of just weird weather that's going to happen in South Carolina. This guy will appear to people. I mean, not just like one person, like to multiple people all over the place in South Carolina. And he doesn't really do much. He's just there as kind of like a warning of a massive fucking hurricane or storm that's going to come through the area. And I guess like people have started to, take it seriously, because when he appears down there, shit happens. You know what I mean? Shit fucking happens when he's down there, or when they see him. And he appears a lot. He's around quite a bit. And he's appeared recently, when there's been some different a lot of like weather activity, severe weather, or extreme weather that's coming through the area. People have seen him in the last 2 or 3 years. People have reported seeing the gray man in South Carolina. But quicksand is something you don't hear about so too much. You don't hear about that very often. But that's the source of this guy and his horse dying. And now, you have him coming and warning people as a kind of like a weather system. You know what I mean? It's weird, but people have seen him a lot, because there's all sorts of freaky weather down there. But if you guys, if you aren't going to the gym, you need to maybe try to go to the gym. I know that it's like getting into that time of year when the New Year's resolution people are dropping off, and they're starting to give up and clearing the gym. I remember I've been into the gym on New Year's Day, and there were so many people inside the gym that it looked like a fucking rock concert. You know what I mean? It looked like it was Lollapalooza or Electric Daisy Carnival. There were so many people. You could hardly move on New Year's Day. But the thing I like about the reason why I go to the gym on New Year's Day is because when you have new people coming into the gym, then you have like gym regulars who are there every day. There tends to be fights, and I like fights. I like to participate in fights. I practice MMA, UFC every day, and I enjoy it. You know, I've had past lives in the Viking Age and in ancient China and Tibet, where I've participated in war and fighting and martial arts, things like that. I had a lot of past life recall where I can remember or see psychically my past lives, and a lot of them have been in warfare and military activities and things. And I've seen on New Year's Day, I saw some like 60, 70, guys maybe like, I don't know, early 60s. That's about how old the guy was. And he grabbed this chick's butt. He grabbed this girl's ass, who was on this. Now, this girl, she was on steroids. She wasn't like super muscular because she was training in fitness. And if you've ever seen, you know, fitness girls, they have a really attractive physique. And this old guy, he grabbed this girl's ass, and she turned around, and without even thinking, she punched this guy in the gut. She literally like fucking just like hammered this guy in the stomach. And she hit him so fucking hard because she had her back turned to him. And if you know, when one of the secrets or tricks or the mechanics of punching is getting some torque and twisting your feet into your hips, into your arms and your shoulders. And the twisting movement from her having her back turned put a lot of fucking power into that punch. And she hit this guy so fucking hard in the gut that he literally puked all over the front desk of the gym. I mean, not like regular puke. I mean, fucking real spraying puke all over the front desk, all over the front desk people, all over the computers, and it was fucking beautiful. It was awesome to see that fucking puke fly after that girl fucking punched that guy in the gut, in the stomach. It was beautiful to see. It was like a fucking work of art, seeing the movement of that punch, twist, and fucking nail that guy so hard that he puked all over the fucking front desk. And it was just, it was beautiful. It was amazing. And then the guy, he fell on his ass. He was laying on the ground. Because he's out of shape. He's a New Year's resolution guy, out of shape, and fucking laying on the ground, gasping for breath, with puke all over his fucking clothes, all over everything. It was an amazing thing to see. You know, and the guy, you know, he was a He's a weirdo, you know. I mean, the angle of the puke, it flew all over. It was like a wave, like an ocean wave. It was thick, like an ocean wave that covered the entire front desk and the computers and the people working behind the front desk. And the thing is that the front desk area where you check into the gym, it was circular, it was curved. You know what I mean? And that wave just was the angle of that puke wave. It covered that area just perfectly. And people were coming in, they were stepping over the guy as he was laying on the ground, checking into the gym. And this is on New Year's Day, so he's laying on the ground, gasping for air. Meanwhile, people are pouring into the gym on New Year's Day. All the New Year's resolution people pouring into the gym, stepping over this guy. And they didn't care, because they're like, this is my year. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get a 6-pack. I'm gonna bench 600 pounds. You know, and they're focused. They're focused on that day. They just kept coming in, stepping over this dude. And eventually he got up and went home. He left. He helped clean up some of the puke, you know, but I don't remember. I don't remember seeing him after that. So maybe he went to a different gym, you know. But like I said, this wasn't some steroided out guy. This was a woman, a younger woman, you know, in her early 20s. Yeah, she was on steroids, but, you know, she fucking beat the fuck out of this guy. You know, it was hilarious. It was just the whole thing was just a beautiful work of art. Is that punch as she twisted and punched that guy in the gut, in the stomach. It was just fantastic, you know. And then he drops, you know, and just laying there on the fucking ground. It was amazing. It was great to see that. The punch was just beautiful because it was instinctive, as she twisted and fucking nailed that guy in the gut. It was a beautiful thing to see. But anyway, guys, if you're gonna go to Glastonbury Mountain in Vermont, stay away from the large rocks, and make sure you eat some refried beans. Take some pork and beans with you, and bring a bunch of lighters so that you can blue dart the fucking human eating rocks. So anyway, have a good one, guys, and remember, go to the gym every day, smoke weed every day, meditate every day, and don't forget the dark chocolate. Okay? All right, see you later. Bye.